You are my lemon whipped cream pie. I have a special episode for you. Where are we? I want to ask you that question. Where are we right now in the crypto cycle? We might be right on the cusp of a big alt season. I'm going to just warm you up as to what's going on. We've now had the Bitcoin thrust up, but psychologically, what's actually happening? We're going to go through the charts, friends. It's going to be exciting. And there's going to be some doom after that, but exciting first. The first thing is you are going to notice altcoins are going to start popping off and the bear market PTSD will actually start washing away. It's actually going to start now. Now, people who were getting in the fourth quarter of 2023, they were front running that washing away. They're a bit early, but it's good, right? It's paying off now. That we're actually going to see it wash away now. What I mean by wash away? Well, coins that were going down forever, you're going to just start seeing more green appear. And we are so used to the dopamine being cut off from us for a long time for the past 2 years. We're seeing like the lower high rallies and then faked out. But what we're going to see now is you're going to be surprised. There's going to be, for some reason, floors get more stable, which is price floors, and then we start uptrending. We start holding the line higher. So for example, friends, Icosa here, you see this? Icosa has improved by 33% overnight. You see that technology, friends? You see that green candle technology? That's exactly what we're here for, right? We're exactly looking at this technology for Icosa, the green candle technology, the green candle engineering. What's going on here? Well, this is a screenshot from earlier. By the way, this is not the updated screenshot. Pulse X and Pulse, everything started moving up, but this is like the floor is lava. Okay. Icosa is leverage on hex pumping. I've got more videos coming up. This should tell you like why it's important is I'm throwing you a bone here. I'm helping because I know there are people who lost their hex. Okay. I'm not going to call out any names. I know you guys, you pretend everything's fine. Yous aren't. I know yous got wrecked. I'm not promising a way to make it back. However, I'm just saying there is an opportunity, if it works out, there is an opportunity to take a sophisticated, leveraged play on the rise of Hex, and that is through Icosa. And I can show you the chart right now, friends. We're going to go through a lot of these. This is still freaking, this is a 9x away, 8x now, to go back to August 2022. This is not the bull market high. This is when Hex was 3 cents. You see here? So when Hex was 3 cents, Icosa was $1.38. By the way, I adjusted for P Icosa and E Icosa. So the Pulse and Ethereum version. Okay, so I adjusted for them. This is 2/3 of the price. So isn't that crazy? Because you're looking at P Icosa right now. Which one do you get? You can get half and half if you want. You could just get one. They're pretty much linked. You can see the P Icosa and E Icosa chart ratio, which I looked at before, and they just move up and down. It means it's very stable. And it means you don't need to pick between one or the other from this point. They're not at extremes. So that's one of the examples I've shown you, and things are starting to move off. You see that turn up? You see that little turn, the green weekly candles? Well, okay, now we're going to look at this, friends. You see there's a problem here. You see that big volume node at the bottom? These are only done by insiders at extreme price points. Now, this is grayscale Bitcoin. You can see this big chunk amount. It basically means there's been an enormous amount of dumping here right into this fib zone. When was the last time it had a high volume node, friends? It was the top of 2021. Look at that. The top of 2021. Bang. Okay. Now, it doesn't mean, okay, down only from here. It doesn't mean that straight away. It just means we can see as retail has bought into the Bitcoin ETF, we can identify the big footprint that's gone smack. I'll take you. And they're happy to keep getting absorbed. Now, here's the thing. This is going to happen anyway. The market's going to clear at whatever price it's going to clear at. But what you're seeing here is that you've now seen it's happened right now. Okay, see, this zone, friends, of volume node, it didn't happen at 34K, 30K, whatever, 29K. It didn't happen here. It happened right at the fib zone, like right here. I mean, you can't make this up. It's just crazy, man. Just crazy. So what do you do from here? Well, from what we can see, Bitcoin is done. Doesn't mean it's over. It just means the majority of its move is done now. So if you're still long Bitcoin, just look, not financial advice. I'm wearing a cork hat. Like, subscribe, belly button all. Just telling you, if I had spot Bitcoin, wink, wink, if I had spot Bitcoin and I had a trading portion of that, let's say you had 1 Bitcoin and you want to trade with 0.3 of that because you don't trust yourself for trading, okay? I will take that 0.3 and I would have started already scaling out. I'll be scaling, I'll be following these guys. 0.05, 0.05, 0.05, you have like 6 clips, you get out, and then you leave it. Now, you could rotate in. I mean, for example, friends, you know, we're making all videos, the Pulse Chain, Pulsex, and Hex communities pumping. Maybe you like Chainlink, maybe you like Solana, maybe you like whatever it is you like. I'm just telling you, probably the rotation next is to other altcoins. This does not mean you can do this every time. We did not know this was going to happen like this. It could have been possible that they kind of move side by side. What I mean by that is Bitcoin and altcoins. But what we've been seeing lately now is Bitcoin has thrust up, altcoins do nothing, and our Bitcoin's going sideways. It's just, we don't get a guarantee that these types of moves can be predictable. That's why it's not worth banking on them being predictable. It's worth you just accumulating strong core altcoins first, just in case the ones you want to accumulate start getting pumped up. All right, now we're in Bitcoin halvening gear. So we can't deny those big volume points. They are always significant, friends, significant pivot points. All right, now where are we going now? What I've brought up for you is the Coinbase exchange for Bitcoin. And what I'm going to do is change it to a monthly, just so you can observe something that's going on. You can see these big spikes, friends. You put it on monthly, but you don't see much. But look at the daily, all right? Look at the daily. If you notice, see, you can't see much, but this spike up here was the big one done on Grayscale Bitcoin. They mark significant points of interest. You can see, look at this one. There was a big volume one down here for FTX collapse. Look at that. Isn't that crazy? The FTX collapse marked it here. You also saw significant ones here. You also saw one up here. So they're not a 100% guarantee because not all exchanges have the bulk of the volume. You saw what I just showed you. The Grayscale Bitcoin one has popped up through the roof. And you have the Bitcoin ETF, buy the rumor, sell the news type of thing, all playing together, right? So that's why these things, they're not perfect. They're not perfect. You're not going to get a perfect indicator that says, oh, sweet, now it's time to buy or sell. If there was, everyone would be using it, all right? So you're watching this zone, and it is a risk zone. I don't know exactly how it plays out from here, but if you just look at the monthly chart, friends, we can't turn our backs on this. If we're really in for a big bull trend, we need this to close above 44,500. In 3 out of 3 cycles before we did, and then we cooled off for 2 or 3 months, and then we're off to the races. Unfortunately, what we're doing so far is we haven't even finished it. I hope the final flush is when they cut rates in the next few months, when they do the first rate cut. Because if they do the first rate cut, that might be the final weekend. The people on the sideline, they say, oh my gosh, they're cutting rates now. They're stimulating. It's time for me to finally get in. And that might be what closes us above 44,500. And I just want to remind you, the last time we closed above the monthly super trend, look at this. All right, this is zombie virus. You don't know if you're going to get that though, but you can see there's 3 red monthly candles. 3. Before that, 2 red monthly candles. See, look, it flips green here, 2 red monthly candles. And then even before that, here's the thing. This had no red monthly candles, but this was after the Bitcoin halvening. You see the vertical line? It was after the Bitcoin halvening. We are running early, friends. We are before the Bitcoin halvening. So you have some context here. Remember, they're all probabilities. That's why it's not worth it being a Bitcoin maxi, believing you're going to be the entitled one to find the perfect rotation out, because most of the time it'll be impossible for you to hold anyway, even if you found the perfect coin. And I think it's important to listen to Jamie Dildo speak about Bitcoin.
Yeah, but gold's limited in supply.
So is Bitcoin.
And it's been used. So you think so, huh?
I do.
I think there's a good chance that when Bitcoin when we get to that 20 million Bitcoins,
they go to 42.
No, that Satoshi's going to come on there, laugh hysterically, go quiet, all Bitcoin's going to be erased.
I think, man.
How the hell do you know it's going to stop at 21? I've never met one person who told me they know for a fact they take that
mathematically, it's not. It can't happen.
Satoshi.
Yeah, but gold's limited in supply.
So is Bitcoin.
And it's been used. So you think so, huh?
I do.
I think there's a
Satoshi, please. See, I want to tell you something. All right. This reptilian bug eater, Jamie Dildo, the CEO of JP Mosquito, is the enemy since day one. He was the enemy when Bitcoin was 0. He was the enemy when Bitcoin was a penny, $1, $100, 1,000, 10,000. He was the enemy at $69,000 top. And guess what? He's still the enemy. But for some reason, now that everybody has been bribed with a Bitcoin ETF, for some reason, now that Bitcoin has gone up only and people are euphoric, they have forgotten that he is the enemy. Be careful. Saying that, be careful. What I mean by be careful, friends, what I mean by be careful is, because it's one thing to talk about this story, it's another thing where to act. You shouldn't be in leverage Bitcoin at all if you're long. At all. Most of it, if you know what you're doing when you're trading, it's okay, but don't bother. Don't bother leverage trading. You're gonna get dumpstered. At some point, you're gonna get wrecked. It's probably gonna ping up, ping down. You're not gonna know what to do. Next thing, be careful of leverage altcoins. Stay in spot. You see, friends, that's why I showed you Icosa. Right, for just an example, the opportunity that's out here in crypto. We're so early, man, because people don't get it. That's what we love. It's just an opportunity. It's just sitting there waiting for us to take. It's literally, I don't want to say free money, they're free money. Okay, it's big macro long-term swings. See you later. Thank you very much. These act as leverage. So if Jamie Dildo does a poopy on the Bitcoin for us, if he does a poopy, right, we don't know what's going to happen. No, if we do a poopy down here and everything gets scary, if you are in leverage, you get forced out. Your legs get swiped, your account's zeroed. If you are in like an altcoin, which is meant to be leverage, all that's happened is you've been delayed from your riches. You see? So I can show you. See, this is Icosa, for example. You want to be watching the Icosa hex ratio, which is right here. If Jamie Dildo is a poopy head, and let's say he delays our bear market another freaking 6 months and we go down here. This move, yeah, it's going to hurt. You'll be down 65% on your hex. But what if it just delays it and it comes back like that, right? And then it actually goes up here. By the way, you know this chart pattern happens? Just letting you know. If this chart pattern happens from today, okay, and this is not even expensive, by the way, you've made 3.5x on your hex. I know who you are out there, friends. There are a lot of people out there. You just fumbled your bags. You tried to buy poopy coins in altcoins. And look, man, I mean, PDI, Atropa, Teddy Bear. We have Colt, even on the Ethereum side if you want. We have Tangang, HOA, even Poor Pleb. It's okay to be in the cheap zones. But you guys aren't. I know what you're doing. You aren't doing what I'm doing. Slowly accumulating, just sitting on it. And just let it go offside, whatever, just waiting. A lot of people aren't. What they're doing is they'll chase the 2x somewhere here, take a 20% loss, then go back and buy another one, then they go and buy this new meme coin. They're just not sitting on the hands. You throw the lottery ticket in and then you wait and pray. If you want to participate, add an extra lottery ticket elsewhere. But what I've shown you is this lets you recoup what you've lost and more if it gets there. And by the way, you might say to me, hey, what if it gets back towards the ceiling one day? One day, all right. From today, that would be 5.6x on your hex. Technically, what it means is, now don't do this. If someone had 1 million hex and they got wrecked, now they only have 200,000. Okay. If they converted that 200,000 into Icosa and then hex pumps and the Icosa thesis and narrative plays out, you're back up here. If you sell your Icosa up here, you have 1 million hex. You actually have 1.2 million hex up there. So that's the power of leverage. And by the way, in this chart, I assume Jamie Dildo smacks us down and extends the bear market. Extends it by 6 months. The good thing is you don't get wiped out. A lot of the people who got wiped out in the past 2 years, they're gone. And now we look for a brighter future. So that's where we are today. Where we are today is there is still opportunity to buy leverage on the ecosystem spear coins, not using leverage of other people's money, but as in getting higher sensitivity, higher exposure in the form of buying altcoins like, I guess you can call intelligent punting. There's still opportunity there. We've seen Bitcoin buy the rumor, sell the news. They're distributing right now. We know the evil insiders are distributing, but that alt season coming, we've got to be prepared for it. And you're going to start to see now higher lows form until finally we capitulate the end of the altcoin bears. I wonder if there's going to be a clear signal that it's done. I hope, friends, it's when the Fed cuts rates once or something. The Fed does a rate cut and it gets a final person in. I don't know, meet Kevin, Jeremy Lafufu, any of the stock market guys. I'm going to keep my ears and my eyes perking right now for him, because someone's going to say something that's going to be very alarming to us. I'm going to go, oh, I think this move is done. Fingers crossed. Make sure you like, subscribe, better, and all. Catch you soon.